What's up, guys? Today, we're diving into a topic that might ruffle a few feathers, or at the very least, make you take a second look at your gun safe. We're talking about the top 10 most underrated pistols on the market today. These are the handguns that don't always make the Instagram highlight reels. They're not the first thing out of your buddy's mouth when you ask what he carries, and they certainly don't get the respect they deserve on the range. But they perform, and in some cases, they perform way better than the hype beasts everyone talks about. Now, this isn't about being contrarian for the sake of it. These guns made the list because they offer reliability, value, and sometimes even innovation that gets overlooked simply because they're not wearing a big name badge. We've spent time with these pistols, put rounds down range, cleaned the carbon out of every nook, and carried them through real conditions. These are the pistols that punch above their price tag, design expectations, or brand reputation. So, settle in as we count down 10 of the most slept-on pistols that deserve a little spotlight. Let's get started with number 10. The Taurus G3C has a name that carries baggage. Historically, Taurus wasn't always a brand people trusted without hesitation, but sometimes names deserve a second chance. And in the case of the G3C, that second chance might just turn into a long-term relationship. This compact pistol quietly corrects many of the missteps of its predecessors, and in doing so, it carves out a spot as one of the better values in the subcompact market. It features a 3.2-inch barrel, 12-round magazine capacity, and tips the scales at just over 22 ounces. The polymer frame has usable grip texture, a manual thumb safety, forward slide serrations, and a surprisingly decent set of factory sights, a blacked-out rear with a bright front dot that's actually quick to pick up. Perhaps more importantly, the G3C ships with 3 magazines out of the box, which is rare at this price point. The real charm, however, lies in its real-world performance. The trigger has a long pull but a short reset, and the gun includes second strike capability. That might sound like a gimmick, but it's genuinely useful for dry fire practice or for those rare light primer strikes. In testing, the G3C ran without hiccups, fed a variety of ammo, and kept its accuracy within acceptable combat standards. It's not flashy. It's not trying to be a status symbol. It just works. And in a world full of over-branded polymers, that kind of practicality is easy to appreciate. The Walther WMP often flies under the radar, and that's partially because .22 Magnum isn't a caliber people typically associate with serious use. It sits somewhere between rimfire novelty and legitimate utility, but the WMP makes a compelling case for why it deserves your attention. For anyone looking for a low-recoil, high-capacity pistol that doesn't feel like a toy, this Walther delivers more than expected. Chambered in .22 WMR, the WMP sports a 4.5-inch barrel and weighs around 27 ounces unloaded. It comes with a 15-round magazine and includes thoughtful features like a fiber optic front sight, blacked-out rear, forward slide serrations, and a red dot optics cut. The grip is ergonomic, the controls are ambidextrous, and the finish feels solid, not like something made to a budget. Out of the box, it feels more polished than many guns at its price point. What really sets the WMP apart is its reliability. Rimfire cartridges aren't known for consistent ignition, and .22 Magnum can be notoriously picky in autoloaders, but in this case, the pistol runs impressively well. In practical terms, that means you can actually consider this for training, plinking, or even as a low-recoil defensive option in specific scenarios. It's easy to shoot well, has virtually no recoil, and doesn't beat up the shooter during extended sessions. Though the market doesn't always know what to do with .22 Magnum, the WMP shows there's room for a thoughtfully designed, reliable pistol in this chambering. It isn't loud about its strengths, but for those who know what they're looking for, it's a smart and underappreciated choice. The Masada Slim doesn't shout for attention, but it doesn't have to. In a market filled with micro-compact 9mm, this pistol quietly balances concealability with shootability, bringing thoughtful ergonomics and reliable performance into a package that rarely gets its due credit. It might not dominate ad space, but for everyday carry, it makes a very solid case. Built with a 3.4-inch barrel and a 13+1 capacity, The Masada Slim weighs in at about 20 ounces unloaded. It's thin enough for comfortable appendix carry, but still provides a full grip for better control during shooting. The slide is optics ready, the sights are utilitarian but visible, and the grip texture strikes that nice middle ground between too aggressive and too slick. Where this pistol shines is in its balance. The longer grip helps with draw and recoil control, yet the overall footprint remains compact. The trigger is crisp, not competition grade, but consistent and predictable. Reliability is right where it needs to be for a carry gun. No dramatic failures, no quirky behaviors, just straightforward function. It cycles cleanly, handles various ammunition types without issue, and feels secure during rapid fire. At around the $400 mark, it undercuts many competitors in the category without skimping on quality. If you want a micro-compact that doesn't feel like a compromise in every department, this one deserves more attention than it gets. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel, just round it off a little smoother. At first glance, the Platypus looks like something custom-built for Instagram. It's flashy, modular, and plays into the high-performance aesthetic. But underneath that slick surface is a well-thought-out, high-functioning hybrid that merges classic 1911 ergonomics with GLOCK magazine practicality, and that combination delivers more than just looks. With a 5-inch barrel, polymer grip, and aluminum frame, the Platypus manages to keep weight in check, hovering around 26 ounces unloaded. The single-action trigger is predictably clean, offering a short reset and a consistent break. It accepts Glock 17 mags, which makes sourcing and swapping magazines simpler and more affordable than most proprietary setups in the 2011 space. It's not just the parts that impress, but the way they come together. The gun runs reliably, tracks flat, and offers fast follow-up shots without demanding constant attention like some boutique builds. It's a gun you can actually shoot hard without babying it. And for those who like to tailor their gear, Stealth Arms offers plenty of customization options from the factory: colors, slide cuts, optics options, and more. Priced around $1,400, it sits at the entry point for high-end 2011 style pistols, but punches above its class in usability and modularity. It won't be for everyone, but for those who appreciate innovation that serves function rather than flash, the Platypus makes a lasting impression without shouting for attention. The Steyr L9A2 is one of those pistols that gets overlooked for no good reason. It's from a respected manufacturer, built to high standards, and offers a unique feel that sets it apart from the polymer crowd, but somehow, it still flies under most people's radar. Maybe it's the odd styling or lack of mainstream marketing, but whatever the cause, it doesn't deserve the obscurity. This full-size Austrian handgun features a 4.5-inch barrel, 17+1 capacity, and weighs roughly 27 ounces. On paper, it looks similar to something like a Glock 17, but in hand, it's a different experience. The grip angle is more aggressive, pushing the muzzle downward and giving a natural point of aim that some shooters prefer once they get used to it. The triangular sights take a moment to adjust to, but they offer a fast and precise sight picture once familiar. The trigger is crisp with minimal take-up. The bore axis is impressively low, and recoil is soft and easy to manage. It cycles reliably through all types of ammunition, from bulk range fodder to premium hollow points. The ergonomics are excellent, with interchangeable backstraps and a refined grip texture that adds control without abrasion. It's priced in the mid-600s, which puts it among some stiff competition, but the L9A2 holds its own. It's accurate, reliable, and just different enough to feel fresh in a sea of sameness. For shooters looking to step away from the mainstream without compromising performance, this one is well worth a closer look. Clones rarely earn top marks unless they bring something new or manage to do the original justice. The Gerson MCP-35 manages both. This Turkish-made copy of the Browning High Power takes a legendary design and updates it just enough to keep it relevant, without pricing it into collector territory. It's a single-action 9mm pistol with a 4.87-inch barrel and a 15-round capacity, weighing around 24 ounces unloaded. The all-steel construction gives it a sturdy, balanced feel, and the grip profile remains one of the most naturally pointing in the handgun world. The slide serrations are functional, the controls are simple, and it ships with basic but serviceable sights. Performance-wise, the MCP-35 runs with impressive consistency. It eats through a wide range of ammo types with minimal fuss and delivers predictable, tight groups at defensive distances. The trigger is crisp, but has a bit of travel. Not match grade, but certainly better than most budget pistols. There's a magazine disconnect, which purists might complain about, but in practice, it doesn't interfere much with usability. The biggest win is the price. At around $500, you're getting a steel-framed, historically proven pistol that shoots well and looks sharp doing it. It's not flashy, but it has character. And more importantly, it just works. For those wanting a piece of history without raiding their savings, the Gerson makes an excellent case for itself. The PX4 Storm often gets overlooked in Beretta's lineup, overshadowed by the more famous 92 series. It's not a flashy gun, and its unique design tends to confuse first impressions. But spend some time behind the trigger, and you'll realize this is one of the softest shooting, most reliable double-action, single-action pistols on the market. It uses a rotating barrel system, a rare design choice in modern handguns, that helps reduce felt recoil and keep the gun flat in fast strings. It has a 4-inch barrel, 15+1 capacity, and weighs about 27 ounces. The trigger is predictable, with a long but smooth double-action pull and a crisp single-action break. The controls are classic Beretta, including a frame-mounted decocker and ambidextrous safety. The grip design is polarizing, and the aesthetics don't win popularity contests. But in terms of function, the PX4 runs beautifully. It eats every type of ammo and handles recoil like a champ. It's not trendy, but it's incredibly capable. If you can get past its looks, the PX4 Storm rewards you with one of the most comfortable shooting experiences in its class. Rock Island Armory's 1911 pistols have long been respected for their affordability and solid performance. But once Hayes Custom gets involved, that respectable entry-level gun transforms into a high-performance machine that holds its own against far pricier options. This is the kind of 1911 you could use in competition on Saturday and carry confidently on Sunday. Typically built on a full-size steel frame with a 5-inch barrel. The Hayes Custom variant includes trigger work, slide serrations, upgraded sights, and a tuned action. You get a sub-4-pound trigger that breaks cleanly and resets quickly, with the kind of control and responsiveness that makes rapid fire instinctive. It's still all steel and still heavy, but that weight helps it stay flat and manageable under pressure. Reliability is top tier, and it handles hollow points and rough range ammo equally well. At around $1,100, it's not cheap, but for a custom-feel 1911 that performs beyond its price tag, it's an incredible deal. For shooters who love the 1911 platform but want a no-nonsense, purpose-built version that doesn't cost $2,000, this one is tough to top. The FK Berno PSD is one of the most unique pistols to ever fly under the radar. Chambered in 7.5 FK, a high-velocity round with serious ballistic performance, it's more than just a novelty. This is a purpose-built handgun that bridges the gap between pistol and rifle, with real-world application in hunting, defense, and precision shooting. It features a 5.3-inch barrel, 16-round capacity, and weighs close to 39 ounces. Built with a proprietary recoil mitigation system, the PSD makes the powerful 7.5 FK surprisingly manageable, shooting flatter than many 10mm or 357 options. Ergonomics lean toward the CZ side of the family, with a low-bore axis, internal slide rails, and enlarged controls. What makes it stand out isn't just the performance of its primary caliber, but the ability to swap barrels and shoot 9mm or 10mm as well. It's a versatile, high-end platform that's not trying to be mainstream. It's built for serious shooters who want something that goes beyond. Yes, it's expensive. But if you're into performance and innovation, the PSD deserves way more recognition. The top spot goes to a duo of pistols that rarely get the limelight they deserve, the CZ P07 and P09. These are polymer-frame double-action single-action pistols that quietly outperform most of their competition in reliability, ergonomics, and overall shootability. They've been around for a while, but they keep proving their value year after year. The P07 has a 3.75-inch barrel and 15-round capacity, while the P09 stretches out to a 4.5-inch barrel with a 19-round magazine. Both feature CZ's signature internal slide rails, which lower the bore axis and reduce muzzle rise. The triggers are solid out of the box and only get better with use. Controls are intuitive, the frames are durable, and the grip texture strikes a perfect balance. What sets these apart is consistency. They just run. No drama, no weird malfunctions, just clean cycling through every type of ammo you feed them. For concealed carry or home defense, they're easy to trust. And with prices often under $450, the value is hard to beat. They're not trendy, but if you need a dependable, well-thought-out sidearm, this is it. Not every pistol is built to chase trends or rack up likes on social media. Some of them just do their job quietly, round after round, without demanding attention. That's what ties all these guns together, whether it's a full-size steel classic or a polymer carry piece. Each one earned its spot by performing better than expected and offering real-world value without the noise. If you've had experience with any of these or think something else should have made the list, drop it in the comments. I'll check them all, even the ones calling me crazy. And if you're looking to pick up a pistol that isn't all over the billboards but still delivers, maybe something here gave you a new idea. I'll catch you next time.